Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Monday Project call. It is July 29th, our last meeting of July. Going to open this project call with our weekly calendar. Wednesday, July 31st is the deadline for Mozilla Festival 2019 call for proposals. If you have an idea for a session that will help make the open web more awesome, submit it today. All the information you need to submit your call for your proposal for Moz Festival 2019 is found in a link in the wiki document. Also on Wednesday, we have the add-ons community meeting at 15:30 UTC, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. There's a link to the wiki page with call-in info for the add-ons community meeting. Thursday, August 1st, we have the ET speaker series with Wendy Ju of Cornell Tech. This talk is, where did all this gosh darn autonomous car learn to drive? Addressing a cross-cultural difference in autonomous car design. That is 10 a.m. Pacific time, Thursday, August 1st, hosted in Mountain View. Broadcast will be broadcast and recorded on Airmo and YouTube. Questions to Joefish in Slack or Twitter. Also on Thursday, we have the Homebrew Website Club in Brighton. This is every Thursday. The Homebrew Website Club is a growing worldwide network of meetups for everyone who wants to take back their web experience from social media silos and own their own identities, content, and interactions. Again, Brighton, England on Thursday. That's a weekly event. I think that's it for our events for the week. I'm going to reload real quick to see if anything else made it onto the agenda. It doesn't look like it. With that, we are going to move to the speaker section of our meeting. First up, we have Brianna. Sorry to rush you.
No, it's okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Brianna Mark. I'm here this week in Mountain View with a new group going through cultural onboarding. So if you see folks wearing blue lanyards, say hello. They're new-ish to Mozilla, and we'll be here all week through Thursday. And then on Thursday afternoon in the Mountain View office, we'll have an ice cream social in the afternoon, and I'll send an email about that. So come eat ice cream with us.
Thank you. And next up, we have Fernando with the Emerging Technologies Weekly Update.
Everyone, so our first update for today is about wireless routers. Back in April, we announced that the Mozilla IoT team was evolving Web Things Gateway into a full software distribution for consumer wireless routers as our way of providing a trusted agent for a smart connected home. This week, with the 0.9 release, we are happy to make available the first experimental build for our first target router hardware, the Tourist Omnia. These builds are based on the open source OpenVRT operating system and feature a new first-time setup experience, enabling you to configure the gateway as a router and Wi-Fi access point itself rather than connecting to an existing Wi-Fi network. Please notice that this is just a first step along the path of the full software distribution, so we are not ready yet to replace your existing wireless router. We also continue to support the system Raspbian-based build for the Raspberry Pi. In fact, with this release, you just get support for the new Raspberry Pi 4. You can find the download links in the agenda. On the mixed reality update, this is the Quest. This is the latest VR device from Oculus. Its store is one of the hardest to get in because of their strict curation process. But thanks to the hard work of the Firefox Reality team, improving the performance and stability, you can now browse the store, find Firefox Reality, install it, and start browsing the web safely. We also updated the content feed so you can try a lot of new WebVR experiences on your device. This new 1.3 release is also available on the HTC Viveport, Oculus Go, and Google Play stores. In addition to the Firefox Reality update, Hubs by Mozilla has added additional moderation tools, allowing public sharing of links and content without worries about toxic interaction in social VR. In addition to a growing number of public meetup, academic meetings, educational settings, and enterprise usage, we are seeing Hubs growing really well and several commercial use cases emerging. The last update today is about Rust. We are already used to read a lot of cool news about Rust, but this week, one post from Microsoft got some extra attention, as they say that Rust was the best alternative to C and C++. We already knew that, but it's cool to see big companies as Microsoft making this kind of public statement about the project that we are working on. On the post, link in the agenda, the Microsoft Security Research Team shared an analysis showing that over the last 12 years, 70% of all their software patches were to address memory vulnerability bugs. Because of that, it's easier to understand the strong motivation toward adopting Rust as a memory-safe language for their projects. And that's all for me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fernando. Next up, we have Andrew Krug coming to us with the IT Minute.
It's time for the Weekly Minute Update, where we tell you all the things IT is doing to empower Mozillians in their mission to keep the web a global public resource open and accessible to all. Two updates today for the last minute in July. First up, Business Operations Support Services, in cooperation with the accounting team, partnered to work on the CASA platform, also known internally as BizTerra. If you don't know about the platform, we use this for all kinds of contracting workflows internally. Wednesday, we launched an integration with Sage Intacct, our accounting platform, to import purchase orders automatically, eliminating a manual process that has been in place for 7 years. Not only will this reduce data entry errors, but it will also give us the ability to generate reports on budgeting and more. For more information on that, visit the link below. Second, some statistics from the AV Ops team to share on the success of last week's monthly internal call. There were 903 viewers on Air Mozilla, 151 staff watching in the Commons, 13 coming in on Zoom. The conferencing platform was able to support 10 presenters from 5 different geographic locations with 2 demos, 1 live during the call. That call ran very successfully for a total of 91 minutes. I'll leave you with the Zoom tip of the week. Did you know that you can launch a meeting instantly in Slack by typing /Zoom? That's the minute. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Andrew. And next up is me, Asa Dotzler, coming to you with your weekly Firefox update. Firefox 68.0.1 is our current stable release. 69 is in beta, and that ships to our stable release on September 3rd. Our stable release on September 3rd. Over the last week, about 55 bug fixes have been uplifted into our beta track. This is pretty typical for a week. Midway through the cycle, about 50 bugs a week get special permission to skip a step and jump right up to beta, get their testing in beta before they ship out to release. Firefox 70 is in the nightly channel, and that ships to our consumer release on October 22nd. This is a pretty significant release. Over the last week, there have been about 400 bug fixes in nightly, including these notable changes. A couple regression fixes. The first, some users were seeing blurry fonts over the last week or so. It was an attempt to fix blurry fonts, and it made some other fonts blurry. So they've now fixed both of those issues. Another regression, one that caused the address drop-down to show up behind the bookmarks toolbar, was fixed. The bookmarks toolbar is a non-default toolbar, so a lot of our users don't see that, and fortunately this is a nightly regression that was caught and corrected quickly. Headings in About Memory are now sticky. When you run a report in About Memory, it gives you headings for each of the sections of memory, and those will now stick to the top of the page as you scroll by, so you can tell what content belongs to what section. The new Logins Manager got a bunch of cleanup fixes. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty exciting. This is the work coming over from Lockwise. You can load the address about:logins, or you can go to the Firefox menu and select Logins from the menu list. Bring up the new Logins Manager. It's worth taking a look at. It's shiny, it's pretty, it works really well. And then next, as part of our evil traps fixing effort, Firefox now exits full screen mode when a permission prompt is shown to the user. Evil traps are what we call these things that websites do to mess with users, to trap them, to lock them into clicking on ads, to generally abuse users by not letting them get away from the page. And this is one case where in full screen mode, they could spoof our toolbars and then show a permission prompt and sort of trick the user about what site they were at, or presumably spoof them in some way. So that's been fixed. The protection report now has dark mode support. For those of you who are on dark mode in Firefox, this is a nice change. You don't get a bright white page when you load about protections. The protections report is really exciting. It shows users how we're protecting them by blocking trackers and by storing their passwords and by syncing their accounts. So if you haven't had a look at this, about:protections will give you some idea about what Firefox is doing to protect you. And last but not least, we got a new animated shield icon for tracking protection. The little details do matter. This is slightly less in your face than the old animation. Now it just traces out the outline of the shield when protections go into effect. And that should give users a clue that they can click on that shield to get more information about the protections in effect on that page, as well as how to disable those protections if they're somehow blocking content. And with that, we will move on to reload to see if we have any additional speakers. We don't, but we do have some introductions. My favorite part of the day, our welcome. Let's say hello to some new Mozillians. We're going to start off with introduction coming to us from San Francisco with Michael Feldman. Looks like we're not getting audio from San Francisco.
I'll say that again.
Thank you.
Do we have audio now?
Yes.
Great. I am Michael Feldman with the legal team, and I am introducing Tyler Robbins, who is our legal intern for the summer. He's actually been here for about 4 weeks, but because of some PTO of legal team members and because of all hands and not having our project call during those weeks, we haven't gotten around to introducing him until now, but he will be assisting all members of the legal team and is already doing some research to make our terms more readable and to do research into various issues that we are looking into. So that's Tyler.
Hey everyone, nice to know you.
Next up, we have a couple of introductions in Mountain View. So if you're introducing someone from Mountain View, please make your way up. We're going to start with Stephen, who has an introduction to make.
Hello, so I'm Steve Undatar, and I manage the WebVM team, which is the JavaScript team and the WASM team. And today we have Caroline Coland, who's going to join us from Cal Poly, right? From
Yes.
Cal Poly, and she's going to be working on the JS team. So,
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. I think we have, we have one more introduction. Sean, you have someone to introduce here?
Hi everyone, my name is Sean White. I'm the Chief R&D Officer here. The person I'm introducing is actually on the screen there. Daria, can you wave your hands? Daria is going to be working out of the Portland office, and she's our new head of product design. She comes from Intel, where she's done work both on the research side and on the product development side, very important for us, and is really about how we are leaning into how we make products for people, how we actually put people first in the things that we do, as well as accelerate the technological things that we do. So please join me in welcoming Daria.
And with that, we will move to our Portland office. Matt, you've got an introduction?
Hi, thanks, Asa. I'm Matt Howell from the Platform Integration and Integrity team. Here to introduce Toshi, who is going to be a new engineer helping us out with some Windows security and integrity projects. So welcome, Toshi. Hello, nice to see you. Thanks.
And with that, I believe, let me reload to see if any other introductions came on the agenda. Do we have any more? No. Okay. With that, we are all wrapped up for the day, a 15-minute meeting. Hope to see you all next week, same time, same place for the weekly project call. Until then, keep on rocking the free web.